Hello everyone, I am your storyteller Gun. I'm here once again with another episode of storytelling. Today I'm reading The Frog Prince. So let's start. Once there lived a princess who had a golden ball with which she used to play every day. One evening, she went for a walk outside her palace. While walking, she came across a pond. She started playing with the ball near the pond. She threw it high up in the air, but unfortunately, she could not catch it, and it fell into the water. The princess tried very hard to get the ball, but failed. She became very upset and began to cry. Meanwhile, a frog had heard the princess crying. The frog came out of the pond and said, "Oh, princess, why are you crying? Still crying?" The princess replied, "My golden ball, which is very precious to me, has fallen into the pond and disappeared." The frog said, "Don't worry, Princess, I can get your golden ball for you, but in return you will have to take me with you to your palace and let me live with you. You will also have to let me eat from your golden plate. I will also sleep on your pillow." "This silly frog can never get to the palace. Let him get the ball for me," thought the princess. So she said to the frog, "If you bring me my ball, I will see what I can do." The frog dived deep under the water and after a little while came up with the ball in his mouth. The princess was very pleased to see her ball. She quickly ran to get her ball. She returned home with it without even bothering to thank the frog. The frog called after her, "Oh, princess, take me with you. You promised me you will." But the princess did not stop. The next day, just as the princess had sat down for dinner, she heard a knock. The princess ran to the door and opened it. As soon as she saw the frog at the door, she became frightened and shut the door immediately. The king, her father, seeing that something had frightened her, asked her what was the matter. "There is a frog at the door." The frog had brought my golden ball out of the pond for me. I had promised the frog that he could live with me and eat from my golden plate. I never thought that he would follow me here." The frog knocked at the door again. Then the king said to the princess, "Since you have given your word, you must keep it. Let him in." The princess went to the door and let the frog inside. The frog hopped to the princess' chair and said, "Please lift me upon the chair and let me sit next to you." The princess did as the frog had requested. The frog then said, "Put your golden plate near me so that I can eat from it." She did so, and when the frog had finished the food, He said, I'm tired. Carry me to your room and put me in your bed. And the princess, though very unhappy about it, carried the frog and put him upon the pillow of her own bed, where he slept all night long. Early next morning, the frog hopped downstairs and went out of the house. The princess was very relieved. At last, he is gone, and I am free of him, she thought. But the princess was mistaken. When night fell, she heard the same tapping at the door, and when the princess opened the door, the frog came in and slept upon her pillow as before till the morning broke. On the third night, too, he did the same. But the next morning, when the princess woke up, she was surprised to find, instead of the frog, a handsome prince looking at her with a smile on his face. The handsome prince then told her that he had been cursed by a wicked witch who had changed him into a frog and put him in a pound. When he had begged her to release him from the curse, she said, if a princess takes you out of the pound, lets you eat from her plate and sleep on her bed for 3 nights, you will be free of the curse. Since you let me eat from your plate and sleep on your bed for 3 nights, I am free of the curse now, said the prince, smiling at the princess. The prince then asked the princess to marry him, and she agreed. They then asked for the king's permission to get married, and the king happily agreed. So the prince and the princess got married and lived happily ever after. The end.